Thank you for watching Poetry in Motion with your host, D. Freeman.
From the depth of my soul, the call emerges. With my every breath, my being searches, and I soon find the enlightening message that our future is a reality only if we don't leave the children behind. My heart throbs and aches. Its pain is of a wrenching and unhealing kind. We can't go forward, for there's no place to go if we dare leave our children behind. Our ancestors cry out from the ocean floor. Their pleas reach the underlying realm of my mind. They only want us to follow their lead and not leave the children behind. They tell us we are the product of their past deeds, so our future will surely spring forth from our own seeds. Looking back, I see we must continue to forge ahead, for by the hands of the innocent we all shall be led. Though we've walked down the paths cleared by Tubman, Sojourner, Du Bois, King, and others, our journey is not yet over, and the future looks bleak unless we arise hand in hand as brothers. We stand on the shoulders of our forefathers. Peering into the future, we strain to see untarnished justice and equality. Though we gaze, we don't get a clear, unobstructed view, but see stagnation of growth, a blinding tragedy. The question is real. How will we measure our victorious success if we don't carry the children, if we don't nurture the children, if we don't lift them up, if we don't elevate them, if we don't educate them, if we don't stimulate them? How will we succeed and make it to the future if we don't organize them, stabilize them, energize them, mobilize them? If we don't direct them, protect them, respect them? How do we get there? If we don't beseech them, reach them, entreat them, and teach them. If we don't guide them, provide for them, walk beside them. We should not put anything above them, always love them. To our breast we must hold them. When needed, we must scold them. Into their best, we must mold them. We're stalled in our tracks if we don't also carry on our backs what once was the past, what's here and now, our present, what will be our future, our youth and children. We can't waste this precious time because, we just cannot leave our future behind. We won't leave our children behind.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, welcome, Miss Kelli Hatfield. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, I read that because I know you are doing that. You're not leaving the children behind.
That's right.
And I looked on the website and I found the program to be very interesting. But before getting into the HSDCI, which is the High School Diploma Completion Initiative. High School Diploma Completion Initiative. Okay. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you happen to be at LCC.
Yeah. So I've been at LCC just under a year now.
Okay.
I have the pleasure of working very closely with Miss Tony Glasgow, who is a mover and shaker in the Lansing
Dynamic
community.
woman.
She's a hard one to keep up with, but she's teaching me a lot. So
okay.
Yeah, so I've been at LCC. I'm serving as the director of the program, and before coming to LCC, I did work at Eastern Michigan University, and I have always worked with youth and what I like to call at-promise youth. And in very non-traditional educational settings. And this program at LCC serves those who are too often underserved, those who for whom the traditional high school system and traditional high school programs and processes just haven't worked for a number of reasons, and they're able to
Whatever
come to
they
us.
may be.
That's right, and there's a whole host of them, and they're able to come and do their high school work with us. They earn the diploma, the same diploma as the other young people do at their traditional high school. So their high school diploma still says Holt or Everett or Eastern or Grand Ledge or wherever it is that they come from. They still get that same diploma, and they earn college credits at the same time. So,
Wow.
yeah,
So,
a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, I think I had something in here about a twofer, a double up or something.
Yeah.
That's great. So as they earn their diploma, if they're 3 credits or 6 credits behind, they get their diploma. Now, will they also get 6 credits?
It
toward-
doesn't equal 1-to-1.
Okay.
But you know, our first and foremost priority is to make sure that they get those diploma requirements, whatever it is, whatever everybody's situation is different. But we make sure that we get them enrolled in LCC classes that are going to enable them to earn those high school credits that they need. And then as that added bonus, they are able many times through many of the classes able to earn that college credit too, which and at no cost to them, I might add. So it's definitely a way to be financially savvy about paying for a college education as well. So so it's quite an opportunity. I am a little biased about it.
And with that, the students that do come to you, generally, how far back are they? How much time have they lost?
Each case is a little bit different. Some students are very close to graduation when they come to us, so maybe they're only with us for 1 semester. We have others that are with us for as much as a year and a half.
Okay.
And so each case is unique. It's really dependent upon how many credits they need to get, to that diploma. And maybe how long they've been disconnected. Sometimes it's just 1 semester of some stumbling. We have a lot of students who have issues, personal health issues, family issues, a number of reasons that lead them to us. But, primarily it's through the counselors that they find out about our programs. But we also, do traditional marketing as far as, billboards or postcards and things like that. Some we get a lot of referrals from graduates too. So students who have been through the program and who have been successful, we see many of them show up again in our offices, and they bring somebody along with them, and they say, this worked for me, I would recommend it for you. And in fact, we just had a really successful what we called a Bring a Friend event a couple of weeks ago at LCC, and we got to hear stories from some of those graduates and current students who are able to refer some of those friends to direct them. They said, this worked for me and I would recommend it for you, and those are really powerful stories for us.
Yes, very good. So is there any particular criteria for this program?
Yeah, the 3 primary areas of eligibility is that they have to either be currently enrolled or eligible to be re-enrolled in an Ingham or Eaton County High School. Those are our participating counties and districts. They have to be between the ages of 16 and 19 unless they're a special education student, and if they have an IEP, Michigan law states that we can serve them longer. So if otherwise they have to be between 16 and 19.
Now, excuse the interruption, but 16 and 19, must they complete it by the age of 19, or can they start?
They cannot start a new school year after the age of 19. So they can't. So if they turn 19 in the middle of our school year or semesters, that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, but they cannot start a new term with us after they've
19.
surpassed 19.
Okay.
So Yeah, unless they're a special education student, have that IEP, then we can serve them as long as Michigan law permits,
Okay.
which is into the mid-20s. And then the only other eligibility requirement is that they have earned at least half of whatever their high school requires.
Okay.
Half of those credits. And you know, for every student, whatever that halfway point is a little bit different. Maybe they struggled with biology, or maybe they're having a hard time in math, you know, so we help them shore up whatever it is that they need. But they need to have earned at least half of whatever their school requires. And every school has different requirements. Believe it or not. Some of that's changing. Every Lansing school district has the same requirements, and of course every high school follows what the state refers to as Michigan merit curriculum. But you know, because of local control, every school district and school board determines what those graduates need. So we honor those same graduation requirements, collaborate with the counselors at the local schools, ensure we are giving them the appropriate menu of classes, and help them work toward that diploma.
Okay. Wow, that sounds like you're kind of busy.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's good stuff.
So. Okay. What's the atmosphere within the program like? The class sizes, the attitudes of students, the connection and respect and attitudes of the instructors toward these, because they are different students than your regular students.
You're right. You're right. I would say it's, if I had to categorize it anyway, I would say it's definitely a small family atmosphere.
Okay.
We have
That
a
sounds
very
good.
positive and supporting culture. We even one full week at minimum before the semester start, we do an orientation together, which incorporates lots of team building and goal setting activities, and kind of helping them, you know, kind of push that reset button, if you will, to get ready for the upcoming term, and understanding that we're going to do things a lot differently. There's a high level of communication between the team and the students, as well as the parents, guardians, or advocates that are supportive. So we have, I would go as far to say at least almost weekly communication with the parents or the families. We provide formal reports every 4 weeks. They get written progress reports, so they get snapshots of how the students are performing academically. So they definitely get those, you know, on the ongoing communication, which we're able to provide because we are a small family. And you know, the larger schools and you know, the bigger school systems just aren't able to do that. They unfortunately they have. And some of the students just can't function in that kind of environment. They need that accountability regularly. They need to know that staff members are approachable. We build a lot of rapport with our students. We know them. We know where they work. We know who's at home. We know their future plans. And we use those things to continue to encourage them to work through the program. So, you know, very much a different culture. But again, it's quite empowering because they realize they are on the LCC campus, and they're also part of that college community. So a lot of them just really appreciate being treated as an adult and
Talk
you know,
to, not at.
That's right. You better believe it. So, and with, you know, and you know, just sometimes, you know, that communication piece is enough to, you know, for those students to see, you know, I can do this, and there are people that are on my team that are gonna, you know, encourage me. And as some of those words in the poem said, you know, correct me when I need to be corrected, and encourage me and support me. And keep me moving and not leave me behind.
Okay, I'm glad you like that.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful.
Okay, now the size of the classes, they're fairly small.
Yeah, I would say in general they're usually about 12 students, maybe 12 to 15 students per class. And it's important to note that when the students first come to us, we're not just going to put them in a traditional college class at first.
Okay.
Typically, their first semester with us, they're in what we call restricted classes, meaning everybody who's in that class is an HSDCI student.
Okay.
So the faculty, while they're teaching the same curriculum and using the same text as they would for any other section that they're teaching for the college, they're using the same materials. That's how they're able to get that same credit.
Okay.
Everybody in that group is an HSDCI student. That enables us to get attendance reports and progress, academic progress updates very efficiently because we have very close communication, not only with the students, but with those faculty members as well. And then eventually most students end up,
filter
they
out.
They do eventually, sometimes as soon as their second semester. For others it's their third or beyond. They get into traditional, college classes with the rest of LCC students. So
how wonderful.
Yeah, but in general with the restricted classes in particular, it's usually 12 to 15 students. So again, a really small group, and sometimes that in and of itself is, another component that helps these students to be able to succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're finishing up high school while also intermingling and learning college life.
Yes, learning how to do college at college. It's not some abstract idea of when you get to college, you better be. No, so we're there on the campus, and for all intents and purposes, the building that we're housed in, the Mackinac building on LCC's campus, in many ways functions as a high school, because not only do we have HSDCI, but there's also another program that serves high school students there called the Early College. And while our programs are different and we operate differently, we're funded differently, that building on LCC's campus is full of young people, and and really serves that high school group there at LCC. So
okay, so in your position, do you get personal contact with the students?
yes, absolutely. And I primarily do that through what we call team time. So that's traditionally 2 times a week for an hour. I lead one of the groups. I usually work with the first semester students, and we go through, organization, time management, all the things that you need to develop in order to be successful in college or in life, right? So all of those things, goal setting, reflection is one of the pillars of our program. So a lot of times we're so busy about moving forward, we don't ever take time to pause and look back at, how did that go? What do I need to do differently? How did that go for me? And what's my plan moving forward? So we're able to incorporate that through team time. And that's, also a time where we're able to collaborate with other professionals, not only at LCC, but also other, local folks who own businesses, who may have some of the same, our students may have some of those same career aspirations. So sometimes they just need to be linked up. And that team time, again, functions as a time where they can learn about college and think beyond college. Even things as simple as, what do I do if I lock my keys in the car? Where do I park? All those things about navigating college. Team time is our kind of homeroom opportunity to deal with some of those things when they're not trying to deal with their math, their writing, their reading, all those other things that they have to do throughout the rest of their day. So.
Now, are there tutors involved in this?
Because they are LCC students, they have access to all of the support services that any LCC student has access to. So there's certainly academic supports and tutors that they have access to. We also have our own team and plan of supports. So there are lots of support mechanisms that are available for them, to help them through writing, to help them through math. We have professional tutors that helps them, functions kind of like a study hall, if you will, just to be there to assist them to get them through the homework. Because as you know, college, class time, you might only have math class twice a week. So
however,
you are expected to do, a considerable amount of studying and preparation and reflection. in between those 2 days of class meetings.
Right,
So,
right.
so, and we know enough about young people to realize they don't do so well with optional, right? So we have to structure times for them to be able to do that studying and to help them, you know, again, get organized, stay organized, purge the backpack, get the folders back together, you know, do all the things that we have to do, and we have, you know, support folks to help us through that too. So yeah.
Okay. I saw a number of videos, YouTube, with testimonies, and I was just curious. I know when Tony and I spoke, she said you had been responsible for getting some of that information filmed. So did you do all of those?
Well, we have several. The most recent one was produced by our media services team at LCC. And for that particular video, the most recent one, I believe, is right on, it's the first thing you see if you go to our website. That one is an opportunity to hear more about our program from a couple of our graduates' perspectives.
Right.
So, and you know, just as you mentioned earlier, we had a graduation ceremony this past Tuesday night, and one of our messages to those folks who are all excited about, you know, earning their diploma and shifting gears was, we will continue to call upon you.
Okay.
And just in the short time that I've been there, I see faces of graduates and even students who did not successfully complete the program that you know, moved, or you know, they just had too many additional or reoccurring life circumstances to be able to finish the program. They're coming back to us, and they show up in the office and they're telling us what they're doing now. That video is kind of our starting point to start systematically capturing some of those stories, because they're really powerful to be able to hear what the program meant to those young people, and you know, we're thinking that those are going to resonate with others who are considering the opportunity to participate.
You had your May graduation. What day was that?
That was just this past Tuesday, so I think it's the 21st.
Okay. So you have one in May.
Yep, we have.
And you had 7 or 8 graduates?
Yep, we had 7 graduates.
Okay. And you have one in August, did you say?
We'll have another one in August.
And another in December.
In December, yeah.
Okay, so you miss one, you're right
that's
there
right. That's
for
right.
the other.
You might be
because everyone is an individual, and they're moving at their individual paces.
You're right.
So that is wonderful. And you had a graduation party.
We did. We had a nice celebration, and what we do for that, we host that every semester out at LCC's West Campus, which is in itself a beautiful facility.
Yes.
And we have a dinner, and we have community supporters, many of the counselors and the principals from the participating schools, and of course the HSDCI team, our advisory board members, and then of course the graduate and their group of guests. And for that particular celebration, we always have a keynote. This past celebration, we had Pastor Terrence King, who was a very dynamic and very motivational speaker. He spoke with our graduates. And then we also give the graduates an opportunity to come forward to the podium to talk a little bit about what the program has meant to, what it's meant to them, what their plans are as far as our next steps. Now, we do find that most of them continue on and finish at LCC. They go on. They're about halfway to an associate's degree by the time they get that diploma.
That is wonderful.
So most of them say, you know what, I'm already here. I already know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know where to get lunch. I know where to park. I know all that stuff. So I'm just going to stay here, you know, and they know that we're going to still be there too. So if they have questions or still struggling with something, they can come back to us and ask. But so most of them continue on at LCC, but at that graduation celebration, we give them a chance to talk about, you know, what's next for them. And then of course we have a nice dinner, but the best part by far is to hear from them and to hear, you know, how the program has helped them or what it's meant to them. And to hear them, you know, acknowledge and say thank you to their to their mother, to their aunt, to whomever it is that's really kind of pushed them through and been there for them, encouraging them, whether it's, making sure they're up on time or making sure, whatever it is, all those things that go along, with getting them
being
through.
supportive.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
wonderful. That's
yeah.
wonderful. Okay. Now, I saw there was a large dollar amount contributed via grants in the past, and I was just wondering, for this year, are you continuing to get subsidy?
Yeah, we're actually in the process of doing some additional. The Mott Foundation has been a tremendous supporter of HSDCI. So we have 3 primary streams of funding. So because the students still, quote unquote, belong to their high school, they still get counted by their high school. Those those state foundation dollars, we get a portion of those. Now, we don't get all of it. We share that with the schools, and to the participating districts. That's really important. So we have state foundation dollars. We also, of course, have LCC Foundation that helps financially support us, and then the Mott Foundation currently. But we are definitely in the process of looking for other continuing grant funds, because and that's one of the things that we're working most closely now with our advisory board to assist us with, looking at other ways, because it's really important for us to be able to financially sustain this program and provide these opportunities for the young people in this community.
Okay, that is wonderful. We're running down out of time, but you have a university center. Can you just mention that?
The university center is part of LCC, so
I thought that very interesting.
Yeah, it's another thing that we like to share, another resource that we definitely share with our HSDCI students who want that university experience. So many of them know that they want to start at LCC, but they are definitely thinking and considering planning for a 4-year career, right? So through the university center, they can enroll in many of the university partners, Western, Ferris, Siena. There are several university partners through LCC's University Center, and they can set up a plan where they're able to earn those degrees through those partnering universities, and in many ways do it at LCC prices, and navigate that university system. Again, very close collaboration. So working through HSDCI, they get halfway to that associate's degree. They may finish that associate's degree after they finish HSDCI. Once they get that under their belts, they may their next stop very well may be the university center, to be able to get to work on that 4-year degree through a university, through university centers, 3+1 programs they call them, and be able to access that university education after they finish that associate's degree.
Well, I'm so proud of LCC.
Well,
wow.
You
got a lot going on.
Yeah,
all
I agree.
right. So if anyone is interested in connecting with the HSDCI program, who may they contact?
The easiest thing to do would be to give our office a call, and that's the number there is 517-483-9707. And you can also find us on the web, of course, through the LCC website. You can just put in HSDCI into the search menu, but it's www.lcc.edu/HSDCI. Again, High School Diploma Completion Initiative.
Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Hatfield, for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
I really enjoyed
and
it.
thank you out there for being with us today. Be proud. Be productive. By all means, be blessed. Thank you.
Tune in next week for more messages of blessings and inspiration. Guests sharing life and education. Words of powerful motivation. And editorials for deep contemplation. Until then, be blessed.